Okay, we're coming into Trinidad from Highway 12, coming from the mountains. And there's Trinidad Lake, Fisher's Peak in the background. I-25 runs north and south through Trinidad. You go north and you're in Pueblo in about an hour. Carl Springs, hour and a half. Denver, 2 hours, 15 minutes. Go south and you're only 20 miles to Raton, New Mexico, Santa Fe, and etc. out Albuquerque down along I-25. So we're headed to 40 acres today in Timber Canyon Ranch. I'm just coming into town, and we're going to be going up north on I-25 in between about 7 miles from Trinidad to an exit, and then we're going to head back in the hills over here to go look at this 40 acres. There's power, there's good views, there's Ponderosa pines, lots of them, and well, down in the bottom. But there's pinyon and juniper trees that cover most of the land up on top. It's about 8:20 in the morning right now. I want to try to get some good colors. It's April 1st and about 40 degrees right now, and then by this weekend it's going to be 70 something. Pretty amazing. Okay, we're coming into Trinidad state limit. It's here from Highway 12. We were going east on Highway 12 from the mountains. Like I say, you have Trinidad Lake behind us, and then up Highway 12, where you come around 160 up through La Vida and Cachara. You're at all the national forests and public lands and mountain lakes. Just a high school. Fisher's Peak. Greenhouses. The sun's not helping. City Park. Windows are dirty. Trinidad State Junior College right there. Top gunsmithing school in the world. Tons of hunting here. It's really big. Deer, elk, bear and deer on this property are going to be, there's going to be a lot of them. There's no covenants. There's power to the property on top. There's a lot of usable room up there as well. I'll show you maps. So we're going to get on I-25. This is basically downtown Trinidad. You have the river walk down here. There's the river coming out of the dam, Purgatory River. Okay, so we're going to circle around and start heading north on I-25. I'll be taking clips of the drive and show you the exit and the rest of the drive to the property. Okay, we just got on the interstate. There's Trinidad State Junior College. Comes over here. And there's Trinidad. Alright. Okay, we've come about 3 miles out of Trinidad. We're headed north on I-25. Aguilar is 18 miles. There's another place you go for groceries and gas and other things. We'll be taking a left off the highway and going back in the hills this direction. We'll be about 6-7 miles off the interstate by the time we get to the property, maybe 8. And we've got about 4 miles to go to get to the exit. It's the old Stuckey's exit everybody knows of around here, and I'll show you the exit. We're going to be taking exit 23. It's known as AKA Honey Road. That goes to the town of Honey, but that goes east to Honey, that direction. We're going to be taking a left. You can see the old Stuckey's. They turned it into a log cabin building place. Somebody did for a while. We'll be taking this exit and heading back up in that canyon over there behind that hill, right up through there. And we're going to be getting up on top. That's a pretty canyon. The road's not bad. They put road base on this last year, I believe. These canyons are pretty. Look at this canyon. Starting to climb here, and we're going to head back to the east a little bit when we get up here a little ways. Then we're going to take a left and then start winding our way on the top mesa back to the west. Anywhere in Colorado, definitely four-wheel drive country. This is four-wheel drive country for sure. Okay, this is the canyon we came up in. Now we're about to get on the top, and we're going to take a left. See the big house? You can see that from the old Suckies if you know what you're looking for. That big house right there. Okay, we made it to the top of the hill. I'm going to say we're going to take a left here and go on the old ranch road on top, going to the property. And like I say, it's about 3.5 miles total getting back there. You can see on the plains east here. Oh. It's out east. I-25's down there, where we came from. There's a rock boulder. You see the Sangre de Cristo's a little bit back there. That's the canyon we drove up. We're in early spring. That's even iced over down here. Elevation's about 6,900 feet. Man, it gets muddy up here, but you sink down to rock, so you just keep going. And you don't have to drive when it's muddy. It takes a very short time in dry climate to dry the roads out. Great hunting place, and you could live here year round. There's about a half a dozen plus people. There's Fisher's Peak over Trinidad, back that direction. Yeah, this has not been graded, obviously. Reminds me of a forestry road. Woo-hoo. You can see the plains. Antelope out there. And they'll come up in here too because it's so close. Driving up here, the property's going to be over one of those flat ridges over there. There's the Sangre de Cristo's to the west. It's where the mountain lakes are, and lots of hunting, fishing, hiking. And they're going to open Kachara, the old Kachara ski resort, back up over here for summertime sports. There's Fisher's Peak over Trinidad again. It looks a lot bigger if I zoomed in. Got this little part. So you can start getting on all the rock, and you're on rock. Now you can see that canyon we drove up better. Little catch pond down there. This is the very upper end of the canyon we drove up. I'll show you, but that's backwards. We still got to get up over there on top. There's one thing for sure, you're not going to have people come up in here much running around. Animals aren't disturbed in the area, that's for sure. And we just passed a left that you could take, but you don't want to take that. You just want to keep going on this road. There's lots of little trail roads all through up in here. Great place to run around on quads. So the next left, so the second left after you come up the main canyon from the county road, you'll see one left like I just passed, and then we'll take the second left to go to this property. We're looking for 40 acres. Is it? Nope. There's the Spanish Peaks. Should have good views from this property. Spanish Peaks. There's the Sangres and Spanish Peaks. They look about. The Spanish Peaks look about that big when you're sitting here. And the Sangres. Okay, so far that last 2 miles, we're almost to the left-hand turn, and then we're gonna be right at the property. We're gonna be driving onto the property on the northern boundary, through the northern boundary line. You can see the topos and the aerials on my website. Those Spanish peaks are huge. You can see the tippy tops of the peaks over by Levita Pass, and you can see Sheep Mountain over Colorado City back there a little ways, and back out east again. Now we're going to take a left at this, where the power line comes in, and this is real easy left to see. This, if you keep going this direction, it'll take you out of the ranch eventually to the northwest corner, and there is a gate on that. This is the shortest route. There are a couple of other ways, but they're not real great. Okay, we're gonna be hitting the property here real quick. We'll see a meadow. You'll see a meadow at the northeastern portion of the map, and we'll know where we've just crossed onto this property. There's one house at the very end of this road. Guy lives down there to the south of this property. He likes to lock that gate. I think that might be the gate combination that I have. Okay, this is the drive to map. We took a right off the main county road here. It's called Hank Canyon, and we drove up here. The big house sits right here that we saw, and then we just came around on Tollberg Road. Here's that first left I was telling you about. We didn't take. We started coming down the hill here, and I started talking about, wow, you can see Levita Mountains right here. And then we took a left, and we're sitting, there's a little meadow right here. We're right there. And the guy's house is way down here. And this is the property we're going to. So you can see a meadow right here, and there's a little turn in. And you'll know you're right on the northern boundary line. And you'll know you're starting to leave the property when you start heading east down here on this side. A lot of usable ground through here. Anyway, I-25 is east this direction. Okay, this is the little meadow I showed you on the drive to aerial map. So we just passed that little meadow I was showing you. Power pole. So we're coming around this, and we're gonna look for a little road that takes a right going into the meadow, which is going to probably be it's going to be here real quick. Nice mixture of ponderosa pines in here too. Still looking for a little right-hand turn that would go to the meadow right on the northern boundary of this property. Yeah. Nice in here. Some sandstones. Oh, there it is right there. So the northern boundary line would go right through here, due west towards the Sangre de Cristos. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive all the way to the other end, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna fly my drone from this meadow, go down below and all around the land. So we'll take a drive. It's nice in here. There are tons of deer and bear down in here, and elk, if you can see them. Deer, if you sit, wait. So this is all the property on the right, and a little bit on the left right here. But you can see the land's pretty darn mild. Okay, 40 acres is a quarter mile by a quarter mile square. And we know on this one, by looking at the aerial, when this thing starts heading to the east, then we are close to the southern boundary, which it does right there, and that heads to the guy's house down there on the bottom of the ridge. So, man, that's a big ponderosa. Okay, right. That post is actually on this property, because This is north where we came from. We were driving south all along this. Here's the turn in for the meadow right on the northern boundary. I'm gonna fly my drone from here, but see how wide these topo lines are? It's very gentle up here on top, going along this road where all the ponderosa pines are at. We're right here at this turn. That goes to his place. So the property line's a little bit past that tree stump. And so I'm going to walk out on this point a little ways through the trees. You're gonna have views of all the sangres and possibly the Spanish Peaks back this direction. This is west. A lot of these places don't have ponderosa pine up here. Not thick like this. Easy to thin out. You can walk through here. And this goes into a, you can see it's like a dip bowl. So we're walking out on this point right here. When it starts to get steep right here, I'm gonna turn around and come back. But I'm gonna fly my drone in this canyon down in here. There's a ton of ponderosas down in here, right there. And a little old catch pond right in here. Grassy meadow area. See the point drops off this side to the south. This side starts going down the valley, going down to the bottom of the property. So you can figure just about a quarter mile, 1,320 feet. How many steps that be? One big step's 3 feet. 300, 400, 450 steps, somewhere in there, 420. Grab my hat. Ponderosa pines everywhere. A lot of small ones. Good to thin. That little valley there, see them, that's right in here. Now we're heading back west, right along this edge, going out to this point. So we're walking west. Boundaries going along with us over here. There's trails through here. I wanted to come out here to the very edge and catch the views. I don't know if these pinyon and junipers are gonna let me. Something else nice, all the pinyon on here, you get pinyon nuts, they sell them, put blankets underneath the trees and beat the nuts off, and then people roast them and sell them for $16, $18 a pound. There's a ton of them on this. Yeah, we're gonna get some views. There we go. So you have the West Spanish Peaks to look at, or the west and the east. The one on the left is obviously the west. They look about like that when you're standing here. So the Spanish Peaks, Wahatoya's breast of the earth, and then here's Fisher's Peak over Trinidad. It looks about like that when you're standing here. So you circle around and you get the tippy tops. This is south, looking over the hills. This is looking northwest. West northwest. That's the Spanish Peaks. So I'm gonna get them on there. That's what you'll see when you come out on this. Come out on this point. We parked right there. And we came all the way out to this point right here. So we're not even halfway along the boundary line. Boundary line's gonna be right here, going down into the canyon below, up over there, quarter mile this direction, quarter mile back the road we drove in on, in that meadow, little meadow turn off. And all along this top, like I say, it's even bigger. Nice big area down in here with all ponderosa pine. Got a lot of usable land with this property and power going right along the top. Going back to the truck. Kind of feel like I'm Luke Skywalker walking through on Dagobah planet looking for Yoda. Animal trail going right through there. Going all along this. This right here. That direction. Bedding spots in here. In the truck. I wasn't videoing the whole time when I was driving back south to the meadow area. And I can see the sangres through the trees there, so you're gonna have sangre views too. But as I was saying, driving back, I was looking at all these benches going over that other place we just walked out on. A skid steer, and there's guys around here that can go just mow through this stuff, chew it up, spread it out, get the ponderosa pines and the pinyon and juniper managed. You could really open up about 10 acres of this up here. It'd be really beautiful, and you'd have all the views. Don't mind my old ranch truck. This is where we drove in at to the meadow. This is looking north. The northern boundary line cuts right across, well, right about where my truck's at. You can use everything this way. This is south. This is west, or east towards Fisher's Peak in Trinidad. We drove up from this direction, coming around on the top of the hills, and up in here, drove up a canyon, big house, around. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see. These are big pinions and junipers. So I'm just walking out. I'll show the topo from the meadow area on the big bench. It's gonna drop off and the trees are gonna stay, so I'm not gonna be able to get the views for here. You could if you cleared them out. I can see the sangres pretty darn good. Bigger than over there. And the West Spanish peaks aren't as big here. Deer, some turkey, deer. My boot. The grass, I just see little bits of green grass starting to come up. Today it's going to be 60 something, 65 down here. Okay, northern boundary line, about right through here. The road we came in on is basically just right about on it. Stay out of the shadows, it's hard to see. Okay, this is the topo aerial map combined that you see. We're in this meadow right here. Came in from the north. This is north. So I'm going to be flying the drone from here, looking for this corner, the road where this is where we took off and walked out on this point. I'm going to try to keep it from here to here. Try to spy that little meadow down in the valley, and then this thick patch of pines down in here, and then come fly back to the meadow area. Okay, we've driven out of the property. We're headed back along the top, and we're going to hit the big house and go back down the canyon, the main county road. You can see the plains out there. I-25 heads north to Pueblo. There's Sheep Mountain over there above Colorado City, right back there. It's pretty neat. What I forgot to say is that there's a big patch of public land only about 4 miles from here. I forgot. I can show you the public lands maps from this area. There's the biggest thing in this county during the winter is elk and deer hunting. You have the second largest elk herd population in the world, and there are just tons of deer, mule deer. Okay, so we're through. Please go to ranchviews.com if you're not already on there, to my website, and take a look at all the properties I've got. Thanks much.